Welcome, friends. Welcome, friends. So, last time we had seen Prevost theory of heat exchange, then emissive power, then Kirchhoff's law and its derivation. Today, we'll see the spectral distribution of black body. Spectral distribution of black body, and this is given by Luhmann and Prinsky. This is given by Luhmann and Prinsky for a perfectly for a black body. So here what happened? We know that generally the hot objects or hot substances, they emit the heat radiations. They emit the heat radiations, and what happened? As they emit the heat radiations, these heat radiations they have higher frequency range, high frequency range, high frequency range. When a hot body radiates the heat radiation, it has high frequency range and low wavelength. And low wavelength. Wavelength is noted by lambda. But whereas when we consider an ordinary body, so what happened? Initially, the radiations are having longer wavelength, longer wavelength if it is low temperature regions. If the temperature of the body is low or small, then we can see that we get the radiations which are longer in wavelength, and that's why we can't be able to see these radiations. So for that, if we use a black body which is a hot body, so naturally it will emit the heat radiations of high frequency range and low wavelength and low wavelength range. So in this case, this is given by Luhmann and Prinsky. So according to this, what happened here? The energy distribution of a black body, which is concerned with the lambda, means there is a relationship between the energy distribution of the black body and the wavelength of the radiation, the wavelength of the electromagnetic waves have been radiated by the black body. So this is very low range of wavelength, but the frequency is high. And this is observed at one particular temperature. Means in order to observe the relationship between the radiant energy and the wavelength at one particular temperature, at one particular temperature means we keep the temperature of the source at one fixed level, and we'll observe the graphical representation between this radiant energy and the wavelength. So see how. So here you can see this is y-axis, and here we have taken radiant energy. Along x-axis we have wavelength, okay, and the values of wavelength are very small. So these are the temperature. 3000. Suppose the initial temperature is 3000. Means 3000 at this temperature Kelvin. 3000 Kelvin. At this temperature, this is the temperature of the source. And now, if you observe this, then you will find that as the heat radiations come out, as the electromagnetic waves come out, so what happened initially? Wavelength increases. Naturally, this radiant energy also increases. Up to a certain value. Beyond that value, you will find that the radiant energy goes on decreasing. So this is the maximum. This we call it as maximum wavelength for which we get maximum radiant energy. So this is for 3000. Kelvin. Now if you increase the temperature of the source up to say 4000 Kelvin, what happened? You will find that again this there is a gradual increase in the radiant energy as we increase the wavelength up to a certain mark, say this mark. And beyond this mark, you will find that this energy goes on decreasing. Even though if you increase the wavelength, still you will find that the radiant energy emitted by black body goes on decreasing. The same thing is observed when the temperature is say 5000 K, 5000 Kelvin. At this temperature also you will find that initially there is a gradual increase in the radiant energy with the wavelength, and after that it goes on decreasing. Okay, same thing is observed for the maximum temperature, say 5500. Okay, so for this also you will get the same type of. But if you observe this graphical representation, then one thing you must be noted, and what is that? These curves, they are not uniform. Means here at low temperature power is very small. At low temperature power is very small, and so we get the longer wavelength. So here we can draw some conclusions from the graph. And so what is the first conclusion? First conclusion is at a given temperature the energy is not uniformly distributed. At a given temperature the energy is not distributed uniform. Means here the distribution of energy is not uniform. You can see here first of all the radiant energy increases with the wavelength. Even though if we increase the wavelength, the radiant energy goes on decreasing. Means the distribution of energy is not uniform as far as wavelength is concerned. Then the second is at a given temperature the radiant power emitted initially increases. Means initially the radiant energy increases with the wavelength. After that, as you increase the wavelength, the radiant energy goes on decreasing. Second thing is that this peak point is slightly shifted towards left side. This peak point means you can see here, this is the peak maximum wavelength. Here it is maximum wavelength, here it is maximum wavelength, and here it is maximum wavelength. You can see this curve, then you will find that this peak or lambda maximum, it has been slightly shifted towards left side. So the first conclusion is energy is not uniformly distributed. Then second is initially the radiant energy increases with the wavelength. After that the radiant energy goes on decreasing as you increase the wavelength. And the lambda max corresponding to the radiation, this lambda max, this maximum point, it has been shifted towards the left side. So at higher temperature area, you will find that this area, this gives us the radiation energy. Means this is, if you increase the temperature, then you will find that this area covered under a core goes on increasing. Means if you increase the temperature, naturally the radiant energy emitted by black body is also more. And that's why it covers the maximum area. You can see this is the area covered under this graph. So these are some conclusions which we can draw from the graph. So at higher temperature area under the curve it increases. In area under at all this area, this is the area covered under this graph. Okay. So this is about the Lummer spring shape, okay? And this we call it as the spectral distribution of energy. So actually here variation of radiant energy per unit area as a function of different constant temperature at different constant temperature, and this is given in the figure or in the graphical representation. Okay. So here we have complete this small article, and that is what spectral distribution of black body radiation. Sometimes you may ask for 2 marks. Sometimes you may ask for 2 marks. Draw this spectral distribution of black body. In that case, you should be able to write all these things. These are the temperature. These are the variables. Okay, wavelength and radiant energy. And here, this range is visible. This range is visible in between these two. Okay, so this is about the spectral distribution of black body, the radiation. Now we'll see the Ven's displacement law. Ven's displacement law. Ven's displacement law. So according to this law, the wavelength for which the emissive power of the black body is maximum. The wavelength for which the emissive power of a black body is inversely proportional to fourth power of absolute temperature. Means this lambda max is inversely proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature. So this is Well's displacement law. According to this law, the wavelength for which the emissive power of the black body is maximum is inversely proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. And so here, if we use one constant of proportionality, say lambda max, this is equal to B divided by T raised to 4. And if you take the multiplication, then you will get lambda max into T raised to 4 is equal to B, where B is called as Well's constant. This B is called as Well's constant, and its value is 2.897 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter Kelvin. Okay, so this is the Well's displacement law, and this law is useful as far as to find out the actually this lambda maximum, this wavelength at which the body dominantly radiates maximum heat energy. Lambda maximum, this is the wavelength for which the body radiates more frequently or more predominantly. So that's why here this lambda max is very important, and it is directly proportional to 1 upon T raised to 4. Means this is the absolute temperature of the body. Okay, so this is about Well's displacement law. Then we'll see some characteristics of Well's displacement law. This law is useful to determine the temperature of distant stars such as sun, moon, etc. Okay. Now the next article is our name is Stephen's Boltzmann law of radiation. Stephen Boltzmann. Law of Stephen Boltzmann law of radiation. So according to this law, the emissive power of a perfectly black body, is directly proportional to fourth power of its absolute temperature. Means emissive power of a perfectly black body is denoted by Rb, and this is directly proportional to fourth power of its absolute temperature. Actually, emissive power means the radiant energy emitted by a black body per unit time, per unit surface area, at a given temperature, and this is in this case, this emissive power is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. What it means, if you increase the temperature, naturally the emissive power of a perfectly black body or of a black body goes on increasing, and there is huge increase in the emissive power even if you increase a smallest increase in the temperature. Means even if you increase the temperature by a small value, still you will find that there is a big huge increase in the emissive power of a black body. So this is an equation for perfectly black body, and this is given by Stephens-Boltzmann law. This we call it as Stephens-Boltzmann law. Here, if we use one constant of proportionality, say sigma Rb is equal to sigma into T raised to 4, where sigma is called as Stephens constant, and its value is 5.87 into 10 raised to minus 8. I think 5.87. Yes, 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8. Minus 7. Okay, 5.67. 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8. Okay, so this is the Stephens constant, the value of Stephens constant, and from this you can find out this is an equation for black body. In order to find out an equation for an ordinary body, so what we will do? We know that there is a relationship between this emissive power of an ordinary body and the emissive power of black body, and this is given by E. E is the coefficient of emission or emissivity, and so Rb is equal to what? Rb is equal to R divided by E. If you substitute this value here, then what you will get? If you substitute this value here in this equation, then R divided by E is equal to sigma into T raised to 4, or R is equal to E into sigma T raised to 4. So this is constant. This is coefficient of emission, and this is Stephens constant. So we can say that R is also directly proportional to 4 power. Means this Stephens-Boltzmann law, it can be verified for a black body as well as for an ordinary body. So for black body it is Rb is directly proportional to T raised to 4. Here for an ordinary body, the emissive power of an ordinary body is denoted by capital R. So it is also directly proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature. But you will find that the emissive power of an ordinary body is less than the emissive power of a black body. Okay, so here that's why we have introduced this coefficient of emission E into sigma into t raised to 4. So here our aim is to find out. Here our aim is to find out some particular cases. Suppose a body is placed in a surrounding. Suppose the body is placed in a surrounding. Actually, this emissive power is nothing but RB is nothing but the quantity of heat energy incident upon a body per unit surface area per unit time. So RB is given by Q upon AT is equal to RB is equal to sigma into T raised to 4. So here we have proved that this law, Stephen's-Boltzmann law, it can be applicable for an ordinary body also. Okay, so it is. This is about Stephen-Boltzmann law. Now we'll use one particular case. Suppose the body is placed in a cold surrounding. Suppose we have a surrounding and the temperature of the surrounding is T0 and the temperature of the body is say T. Okay, temperature of the body is T. So T is greater than T0. Here T is greater than T0. Means the temperature of the body is greater than the surrounding. So in this case, what happened? In this case, what happened? The energy radiated by the body, is given by sigma T raised to 4. Sigma T raised to 4. At the same time, it receives the energy from the surrounding, and this is at the rate of sigma T0 raised to 4. Means this much quantity of heat energy is emitted by the body to the surrounding, and this much quantity of heat energy is received to the body from the surrounding, because the temperature of the body is greater than the temperature of the surrounding. That's why this body will absorb more heat energy and it will absorb small quantity of heat energy but emit large quantity of heat energy. Means here there is a loss in radiant energy as far as this body is concerned. Okay, means there is a loss in the radiant energy of the body, and so the loss in energy is given by sigma T raised to 4 minus sigma T0 raised to 4. Sigma, if you take out outside the bracket, we get T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. So this is the loss in thermal energy or loss in radiant energy of the body A, which is placed in a surrounding as its temperature is more. So reverse thing we can observe, if the temperature of the body is less than T0, means a cold body is placed in a hot surrounding. So in that case, what happened? It will absorb more and given out small. Okay, means it will given out a little bit small energy, but it will absorb more and more energy. Means there is a gain in energy. In that case, there is gain in energy, and in that case, we will find out sigma into T0 raised to 4 minus T0. So this can be find out. Gain in energy, this is equal to sigma T0 raised to 4 minus T raised to 4. Okay. So this is possible when a hot body, when a cold body is placed in a hot surrounding. Okay. So if absolute temperature, now there are again some particular cases, and what are that I will do. The unit of the joule per meter square per second K raised to 4. Okay, this is the SI unit of Stephen's constant. So just I told you, this R is directly proportional to T raised to 4. R is directly proportional to T raised to 4. Means suppose this is an ordinary body and R is the emissive power of an ordinary body, then this emissive power of an ordinary body is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. Suppose if you double the temperature, if we double T, means if we double the temperature, absolute temperature, then this emissive power, actually emissive power R is equal to sigma into T raised to 4. So in this case you will find that there is a gain, or this emissive power will increase. Emissive power will increase by the factor 2 raised to 4, which is equal to 16. Means if we double the absolute temperature, then you will find that this emissive power, means the quantity of heat energy given out by a substance, will increase by factor 2 raised to 4, means 16 times. It will be increased by 16 times if we double the temperature. So such huge difference is observed in the case of increasing temperature. Even if you find out the same case at room temperature, the room temperature is normally say 300 Kelvin. Okay, so if you increase this temperature by say 57 Kelvin, only 57 Kelvin, then you will find that the rate of emission will be double. The rate of emission will be double. Okay, so this is about Stephens-Boltzmann law of radiation. Okay, so sometimes you may ask, give the statement of state the Stephens-Boltzmann law of radiation. So in that case, what we can say? At a given temperature, the energy radiated by a substance per unit time per unit surface area is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. This is the Stephens constant, and this law is applicable for black body as well as for an ordinary body. So here we have finished this kinetic theory of gases. In next lecture, we will see some numericals. Okay, so thank you.